YouTube, man, what the hell going on? It's your boy Rex here, and today I wanted to check out, the victims of Eminem. Of course, I won't listen to Eminem growing up. Only the few songs, that he had that, that was a hit song. But other than that, I won't listen to Eminem like that. Wasn't my type of thing to listen to back in the day or when I was young. As I grew older, I kind of listened to it. Still wasn't my thing, but hey, I fuck with him. I mean, he seemed like a cool dude. I don't really know too much about the motherfucker, so I just wanted to do it because I seen talking about the victims of him. Shout out Lou Costas for the video. Great dude. But anyway, I know his victims: Machine Gun Kelly. I know Joe Budden, and of course Nick Cannon. You know the famous Nick Cannon. With him and that beef is still kind of going on. I guess. I guess it is. I don't know. But anyway, let's hop to the video and see what the hell going on. Cause let's get educated on this goddamn video. Gotta get educated.
From Machine Gun Kelly to Joe Budden, Nick Cannon, and even his own mother, it's no
Damn,
secret
what Nick
that
Cannon
Eminem
mama
has
do?
been involved in countless amounts of beefs over the years. But what happens to the victims of whoever Eminem decides to fire shots at? It's your boy Luesta, and today I want to show you how Eminem can either make or break someone's career, and where those who did Eminem dirty are today. First, let's start with his very own mother, who is now regarded as the most hated mom in America.
He was talking about his mama
have
too.
Always had an incredibly rocky relationship, with Debbie Nelson abusing alcohol and drugs while dealing with Mukassin syndrome during Eminem's childhood, and also facing financial challenges since she was a single mom. This led to Eminem attending more than 30 different schools as a kid.
I would change schools 2-3 times a year. That was probably the roughest part.
Dropping out of the 9th grade, Eminem found himself working as a waiter in a diner. Even there, he couldn't escape his mother's influence. She called his workplace so frequently that waitresses started hanging up the phone as soon as they heard her voice.
Damn, that's fucked up.
It was also noticeable how Eminem's mood would change as he would become more somber and would often put on his headphones, retreating into his own world. The anger and resentment he built up for his mother would eventually...
Damn, that's fucked up right there. Damn, changing all them schools, it's got to be like the worst thing somebody can go through because you never get a good connection with nobody. So that kind of isolates you right there. Yeah, that's fucked up. I know that got to be a toll on somebody that changes, like military kids and all that. That got to be a toll. You really don't get, like I said, you really don't get a connection with nobody change schools like that. You probably get one with one person, but you change school 2-3 times a year. Like, goddamn. Like, you get a connection, then you leave.
Reflect in his rage-filled lyrics when his rap career really started to take off upon being signed to Dr. Dre in 1997.
I told her I'd grow up to be a famous rapper, make a record about doing to name it after.
His song My Name Is literally resulted in a $10 million
lawsuit
from his own mother.
Before
this, Debbie released her own kind of diss track against Eminem.
What?
It was more of a spoken word piece where she expressed how hurt she was by her son's harsh lyrics.
And no more attacks on me and vicious acts of hate, because it really hurts.
Later in the song, she asked the real Marshall Mathers to please stand up and take responsibility for his actions, before then going on to file an official $10 million lawsuit in 1999. The basis of the lawsuit was defamation, with Demi claiming that she was never addicted to drugs and that she did try her best for her son.
He says you were neglectful,
No,
pill popping,
no,
welfare collecting.
no. I think Marshall wanted to portray this really bad image of, like, we never had a place to stay, we lived off relatives, I never worked a day in my life.
In her lawsuit, she also claimed that Eminem's lyrics have caused her emotional distress and sleepless nights. Also stating in interviews that she was now America's most hated mother. And because Eminem's music, she would be abused in public and even spat on in some occasions. Eminem's team's response to these claims was pretty simple and enough to help him win the lawsuit comfortably, with his lawyer stating Eminem's life is reflected in his music. Everything he said can be verified as true. Truth is an absolute defense to a claim of defamation. This situation led him to being ordered to pay $25,000 to his mother, with $23,000 of that going straight to Debbie's lawyers. In essence, their relationship was damaged over a minimal net gain for her. Eminem would continue his career, constantly...
That is fucked up. Damn. Got your own mama to sue you? Damn, but she was, I mean, goddamn, if you goddamn being spit on, you going outside, niggas talking shit about you. I don't know if she did, was on drugs. I don't fucking know. But if she wasn't, then that's fucked up. But if she was, it's still fucked up to get spat on and all that. She did the best she can do, goddamn. But sometimes, hey, you never know people's situations. I don't think he making this shit up, but at the same time, goddamn, that's still your mama. At the end of the day, that's still your goddamn mama. She did the best she can do, and hey, that's all I can say about that. That's fucked up.
Dissing his mom in numerous bars throughout his music, such as Cleaning Out My Closet, where he literally claimed he wanted her to burn in hell. Realizing the need to repair her public image and, more crucially, her relationship to her son, she came up with a strategy. That's when Debbie announced the launch of her book titled My Son Marshall, My Son Eminem in 2007, where she aimed to change the way that she was perceived by the public. What mother wants to be known as a pill-popping alcoholic
I'm telling
who lives
you.
on welfare? To tell the truth, I was heartbroken. The lies started coming thick and fast. And not just from Marshall. I think he'd forgotten all the good times we had, and this book is my way of setting the record straight. Eminem's response? Well, it was an entire song dedicated to his mother named My Mom, which dropped on his album Relapse 2 years after her book was released.
My mom loved bad and lots of drugs.
Never heard of this.
I am like I am, 'cause
Although after this, their relationship would surprisingly heal. In 2014, Eminem released his album Marshall Mathers LP 2, which has the song
Well, that's what's
titled
up. They got
Headlines.
together.
In this song, he said he was sorry for making songs like Cleaning Out My Closet and any other track where he slandered her name. He would then release a music video where
See?
he's seen hugging her in first person.
See, that's what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, that's still your mama. At the end of it, don't matter what she did, you can't get rid of your mama. That's crazy. That was fucked up, but it's good they did that. Cause that's fucking crazy. That's insane.
The end of
Ain't
the
them
day,
some of
she's
his-
my mother.
Exactly.
Because she's my mother. I mean, even though we don't really speak, you know what I mean? She is my mother. I do love her, and I think I got a better understanding of what she.
That's
is
everything
going
I just
through, what
said.
She may be going through.
Although Debbie is still known as the most hated mother in America, and the relationship isn't totally healed, at least they're on good terms. Yet, the same cannot be said about Joe Budden. Ever since he entered the game,
I
Joe
never
Budden had
knew.
a wealth of talent, but had ultimately
I never knew what him and Joe Budden had going on, but Joe Budden podcast is way better than his rap career or whatever the fuck he had going on. Cause the only song niggas bring up is Pump, Pump, Pump It Up. He had another hit song now. Joe Budden had he had about 2-3 hit songs. Cause it was definitely, I think it was on Def Jam if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the name of it, but it was definitely another song.
ultimately been through the ringer
But
when
the
it came to the
podcast took him
industry.
off.
Initially tipped off to be one of Def Jam's biggest stars for the future, tracks like Pump It Up made Joey jump off into a star and netted him a top 10 album with his self-titled debut. But unfortunately, things went wrong in record time for Joe. Once the Jay-Z helmed era of Def Jam commenced in 2004, Joe saw his album, The Growth, wither into the archives without a release. From
Damn.
there, he'd leave the label and go on a prolific independent run. Eventually, he'd find himself getting a second wind in his career when he linked up with fellow spitters such as Royce da 5'9", Joel Ortiz, and Crooked Eye to form Slaughterhouse. After releasing their self-titled indie debut in 2009, the news emerged that after a lot of back and forth, they
Probably
had
too
signed
young
a
to
deal
remember
with
this.
Eminem's Shady Records. When the talks about signing with Shady Records began, Joe, thrilled by the idea of joining forces with a megastar like Eminem, shared his excitement. Speaking about the deal, Budden mentioned that he had always imagined the group would end up on a label like that.
Very early on, the four of us agreed that Shady would be the best place for the group to be. M is so passionate about the project, and he gets it, and he definitely gets it. So something that we're all excited about.
So what the fuck went wrong?
It's gonna be very competitive.
Once on the label, Slaughterhouse released their major label debut, which netted Budden his best-selling record of all time when it peaked at number 2 on the billboards. But unfortunately, the Slaughterhouse train would be derailed before their third album, which was expected to be known as Glass House, could be released.
See,
From
what the
there,
fuck?
Budden began to transition
Joe
into
Budden
media
had some hits
and
now.
across his own podcast and everyday struggle on Complex, Budden regularly went to bat for Shady when co-host academics would try to critique him.
My thing was, certain people we just can't question. I'm not talking about their albums. I'm not talking about his album. I'm talking about him.
While he initially tried to be a company man, the problems between the two all started with Budden's comments in regards to Shady's album Revival, which received really negative feedback. Throughout the record's rollout,
Don't remember
Joe
that
was
shit.
critical of what he had heard about the project, with his issues reaching a boiling point with M's attempt at tackling race relations on the song Untouchable.
It's trash. One of the worst songs I've ever heard. I don't care if the content is great. That is great content, but M is always going to provide great content because he's one of the best wordsmiths to ever live. I'm putting that to the side.
Definitely, I
This
know
is
that.
one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
He
It's
definitely a
giving me
great
real bad
wordsmith.
taste
He
about
put
some
words
other
together.
things. It seems like you are taking the very common water cooler conversation today of racism, which I hold near and dear to my heart, So for this shit to look like this, I'm putting this on somebody in his fucking team. Because this is disgraceful.
Never one to take these things lying down, this soon prompted a response from Shady on Chloroseptic Remix alongside 2 Chainz and Fresher, with Marshall spitting, "Not as raw as I was, walk on water sucks, just suck my dick." Y'all saw the track list and had a fit before you heard it, so you formed your verdict. While you sat with your arms crossed, did your little reaction videos, and talked over songs. Critiqued by M's D12 brother Bizarre, who felt the need to remind Budden that Shady Records pays your fucking bills, things came to a head when it was time for M's surprise album, Kamikaze. An album that dropped from nowhere in August of 2018. M aired out everyone who had written him off, not least of all, Joe Budden. Not only was the album literally released on Budden's birthday, but it was also packed with bars that referred to his previous domestic violence charges. Eminem made it clear that he wasn't willing to overlook what he saw as Budden's betrayal.
He released the...
He even spoke about this in an interview with Sway, where they...
Okay. Did Joe Budden come back with a diss record? Did Joe Budden say anything? He released that shit on his birthday, which is insane. I'd be pissed. Nigga release some shit on my birthday and diss me and get away with it. Oh my god, I'd be fucking pissed. Damn.
They discussed the release. As expected, Budden wasn't always willing to let bygones be bygones.
Me and Joe Budden aren't, we're not friends like that. We're not like, we didn't go to the same fucking high school or something, you know what I'm saying? So I get that part, but when I'm out here flying around to different places and doing interviews and trying to use my platform to pump up Slaughterhouse every chance I get, and you're using your platform
trying to break it down.
And in a famous episode of JBP, he unleashed his thoughts on Shady and daringly claimed that he was a better rapper.
I heard the album, and because I think you don't really know all the members that were in the group, I don't really think you know our history. Let me tell you what Joe Budden has thought this entire time. I've been better than you this entire fucking decade. Talk about all you brought to the game. You brought a lot more than
I don't know. I know people gonna say that's fucking insane. He said that, but I don't know. Like I said, I know way more Eminem songs. I know, Joe Budden songs. So I don't know about that statement whatsoever. I don't know, but I think just because more people listen to Eminem, that they'll say, yeah, Joe Budden not even in the same goddamn realm as fucking Eminem. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
But all of them ain't nice. I hear a nigga that album. This is the first time you ever came out and said that you bodied Hove on Renegade. Why'd you say that? Blueprint came out in 2001. It's 2018. Newsflash. You're not in the same ballpark as Hove.
Alongside suggesting that there was a lack of substance to his work by claiming that Shady hadn't said anything for the past decade, the battle lines were drawn between the camps. And soon, Joe's Slaughterhouse brothers were taking issue with what he had done. Despite how combustible things got initially, Budden later walked back some of his venom towards Shady when Music to Be Murdered By was released, even if he was a little hurt by the Trader Joe line.
The word traitor is just a little misleading. I have no beef with
Eminem,
him. I have no problem with
Eminem will drop an album like a motherfucker. Yeah, I guess where I'm from, we listen to Eminem, we don't listen to Eminem like that. I don't know, maybe other places listen to him, but I wouldn't listen to fucking Eminem. I would listen to probably just Lil Wayne. I would listen to Wayne for fucking ever 1 year. Like that's the only person I even looked up. So. And then they beef, shit. I'm fucking too young to even. I wasn't into this shit like this. For anybody that say, "Oh, he don't seem like he knew anything about it," motherfucker, I'm gonna tell you what I was doing. I said in another video. For the last probably, if this happened in the last almost 10 years, or what? Hell no, not 10. Fuck no. In the last, 10. About 10. God damn. Oh, fuck. Shit. I would say like 8-9 years. Motherfucker, I was working 2 jobs. I ain't had time to look at my fucking phone, and I went on fucking YouTube and shit like that. I was fucking working. I was working fucking 12 hours, sometimes 14 hours and shit. I was working. I wasn't looking at none of this shit these niggas had going on. I was trying to get my shit together. Now I'm watching videos of him about certain shit. Man, I was missing a lot. I wasn't missing shit, but goddamn, I was missing a whole lot.
I've only had but so many conversations with M. I've been very consistent in my message. The only problem or issue that I had was in how our business was set up. The end.
While Budden has let things slide, it's unclear how Shady feels about Budden now that the dust has settled. However, the dust never seemed to settle with Eminem's beef with Nick Cannon.
That
To
shit, I
understand
know
how
that
Eminem
shit still
brutally
going
destroyed
on.
Nick Cannon, we need to go back to 2001. After the success of the Marshall Mathers LP, Mariah Carey, Nick
Fucking 2001, I was 7. I don't know what the fuck was going on, Ian. I was somewhere playing goddamn Dragon Ball Z 10K. That was the fuck I was playing. Or WWE Raw or some shit. Raw versus SmackDown. That was the fuck I was doing back then.
Nick Cannon's soon-to-be wife, reached out to Eminem for a collaboration on her album Charm Bracelet. And it was thanks to this that the pair actually formed a relationship lasting around 6 months. And the reason for their breakup? Well, Eminem said that when he got to know her better, he didn't like what he got to know, saying, quote, "I just don't like her as a person. I gotta be honest, I have respect for her, but she doesn't really have it all together." And after this, the broken up couple would surprisingly fire shots back and forth at each other, with Eminem first referencing her in Superman.
You trying to be my new wife? What, you Mariah? Fly through twice.
And Mariah going on to the Oprah
I
show
do know one
denying
thing,
any
though.
relationship with Eminem.
Look, I talked to him. I, have spoken to him a few times, whatever. But in terms of me having like an intimate relationship with men, I can name them all on one hand, and he ain't on the hand.
However, this couldn't be further from the truth, and as you'll see later,
That's the
in
most I
segment,
heard
she
her
would
talk
also diss him a
in
few times
fucking
on
forever.
stage during her performances, and Eminem would fire right back, exposing voicemails from her during his performances.
Oh, damn.
Yo, that sounds like Mariah Carey. That's me.
After a few years go by with constant back
Okay.
and forths, their beef would really seem settled after Eminem would overdose on drugs and unfortunately enter rehab. But come April 2008,
See, there's some new shit right here. But see, this I'm learning some new shit and some new RAM around this motherfucker. Damn. Eminem overdose? I'm glad what he did. Yeah, he did say he was all drugged. I think, yeah, last time I really seen it, he said he was all drugged for 10 years. It was damn. Okay, it started to make sense. It started to make sense now. It started to make sense, people. Just give me a little time. Give me a little time.
Introduced to Nick Cannon in this feud. After
I know them niggas
Mariah
hate each
Carey
other.
officially announced that they were getting married. Although unknowingly, Nick had just started a war he wanted no part of. Almost 1 year today of this marriage announcement, Eminem would release his song Bagpipes from Baghdad, where he straight up destroys the newly wedded couple's relationship. He references Nick Cannon and Mariah many times throughout the song, where Eminem is heard saying some pretty disrespectful
He
things.
name
to both
dropping
parties.
their ass.
In Mariah's wine cellar, all I had for lunch was red wine, more red wine, and Captain Crunch.
In response to this, Nick Cannon would state in a now deleted blog post, "I thought we got past the days where white men could spew vulgar obscenities at our beautiful queens and get away with it. So, Miss Marshall, I'm going to make a wish you never spoke my name and regret the ungodly things you said about my wife." But Nick Cannon did not know what he was getting himself into. A month after this, Mariah Carey released a song with disses on Eminem sprinkled without, which resulted in an absolute banger hit song called Obsessed.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
But Eminem once again would take this beef a step further after he would respond with The Warning, where he spent an entire 3 minutes going in on Mariah and Nick. In this track, Eminem throws barbs at Mariah and Nick Cannon, revealing details that were perhaps better left unsaid, such as the fact when he went on to quote that he nutted early and ejaculated prematurely. In other bars, he claimed that Mariah was an alcoholic, that he flew her out to his house numerous times, and even threatened to release phone calls between the two of them, which he did partially in verse 2 of this song, where he literally played voicemails of Mariah moaning and acting very sexual towards Eminem. Fans love this track. Although it's unofficially released, it still managed to receive 18 million views on YouTube. However, things were starting to bubble between the three people, yet it was about to get a lot more intense after Nick Cannon would—
Man, it was a lot going on. Y'all had a lot going on back in the day, huh? You niggas had a lot You niggas had a lot of beef, and that nigga was calling names. He was calling names. I see why goddamn Nick Cannon hate this man so much. Nick, what was Nick doing back then? Was he firing back? God damn, I know these niggas hate each other. These niggas hate each other guts.
Eminem, titled "I'm a Slick Rick," Eminem diss. But this
13
one did not
years
go so
ago.
well in Nick Cannon's favor, as the song was filled with absolutely embarrassing bars like this one.
I don't know if I should hit him cause he's feminine slick. Excuse me, Eminem, why you lying on your dick? Erectile dysfunction, you wanna get him up?
Is
Yeah,
he?
no, that was pretty
If he
bad,
got there
but trust me, his fans
sampling,
let him know. with this
That
track.
man
He's delusional
sampling,
if he thought that
Slick
he could
Rick.
even compete with Eminem's level. I refuse to believe this
He's
man
very-
listened to this and thought it was a good idea to release it. After this, the beef was basically dead, with Eminem stating in an interview that he doesn't want to keep beating a dead horse and that he was done with the whole situation. A few years later, after feeling like he lost the beef, Nick Cannon returned yet again, where he would go on to fire even more shots at Eminem. And if you haven't learned anything from this video, you would know that's a huge mistake. He would appear on Hip Hop DX to make it clear that he was ready for another war.
We know Marshall Mathers is one of the greatest, if not the greatest. If you ain't come to get it popping, you gotta go for there's a reason that hip hop was built off a healthy
Man, what the
competition.
hell?
I'm fearless, not fearless.
What the hell he talking about?
Just in that sense where I've never been scared of another individual. I mean, the only thing I fear is God, and he and I have interesting conversations from time to time.
Later on, calling out Eminem for a $100,000 rap battle on Tim Westwood. He would then release another diss track on Eminem, which clearly was only for attention and performed even more horribly.
So I fuck with crack, but the white boy, he fuck with crack. Pills and smack. Shit, he about to relapse.
The track was titled The Invitation, and despite receiving 15 million views on Worldstar, the video would receive 600,000 dislikes in comparison to 100,000 likes. Some notable, if you want to even call them that, lyrics include "You and Eminem," "How You Mad a Star Burst Onto the Scene," and "Should Called Me the New Pac," "I Ain't No Killer So Don't Push Me," "How the fuck y'all got me battling Elvis Pussy." Yes, he literally said that. This is pretty much where the beef finished, and the result.
So this is why they say Nick Cannon fucking can't rap, because that shit is trash. I can do better than that. I can give you a couple bars, but goddamn, I can do better than this. This shit was ass. God damn. Damn. So are they? I'm quite sure he gonna see if they good now or not. I don't know, but goddamn, back in the day, you niggas had some real beefs. Was the guy? No, they weren't living up to goddamn. The beef now, they not as real as the ones back in the day. Cause these niggas really calling each other name out. These niggas calling each other name out by name.
For Nick are awful. Nowadays, it looks like his relevance is on the decline. His beef with Eminem seemed more like a desperate attempt to stay in the spotlight than anything else. And as a result, his reputation has taken a bit of a hit. Guests would come onto his show and just make a mockery of him.
That's
such
all
as
they
Mac
talk
Miller.
about.
Man, I ain't gonna stop you. I don't gotta say anything. Eminem already got you.
They love
And
saying that
his relationship
shit.
with Mariah is no longer a thing. It looks like Nick found the hard way of what can happen when you tangle with Eminem. But at least his situation wasn't as extreme as the next person we'll be talking about, who actually had to switch genres after beefing with M. In 2012, a rapper by the name of
Man,
MGK
I used to
would
love
post a Twitter
Machine
in
Gun
reference
Kelly.
to Eminem's daughter Haley, stating,
Oh, that's fucked
okay,
up.
so I just saw a picture of Eminem's daughter, and I have to say, she is hot as fuck. In the most respectful way possible.
Why would you say
because
some
Eminem
shit
is
like that?
king. Now, an interesting point I have to make is that his daughter was 15 at the time,
Oh,
while MGK
okay.
was 18. Then, a few years
You
later,
crazy.
MGK would appear on Hot 97 to fire more shots at M, claiming he is the reason he is banned from Shade 45.
Certain people won't even listen or review this joint. Certain places you won't even hear Machine Gun Kelly on.
Nigga, cause what the hell you just said? That's some wild shit. Niggas be saying wild shit. And then when the consequences turn around, these niggas be acting crazy. Of course, you just talked about this man 15-year-old daughter. What the hell you thought was gonna happen? They gonna play your shit? These niggas is delusional.
Anybody who's trying to take food off of not just my plate, but like a whole city.
Initially, Eminem would just ignore this, so MGK would continue to take it another step further by sneak dissing Eminem in his feature on Tech Nine's track No Reason.
I used to
claiming
like
that Eminem just
MGK
raps
though.
and that he is not a rap god, which at the time he recently proclaimed himself as on
The
a
rap
song
god.
that now has 1 billion views on YouTube.
Yeah, rap god.
Cherries and pop stars and popsicles is not hard. Popped in on the top charts at the cop card. So remind y'all, you just rap, you not gods.
And this calls for a response from Eminem, where in Kamikaze, the album where he went for the entire industry's throat, he would call out MGK for sneak dissing, rapping the following on the song called Not Alike. I'm talking to you, but you know who the fuck you are. Shelly. I don't use sublims.
I'm
sure
telling
as hell
you.
don't sneak this, but keep commenting on my daughter Haley. Better hope I don't call Trick, bitch. This shit don't fly in our city. And because of these few lines, MGK would release the song that started the downfall of his entire rap career. This was the infamous track Rap Devil.
Somebody grab him some clippers. His fucking beard is weird. Tough talk from a rapper paying millions for security a year.
Sitting at just over 300 million views, MGK spent an entire 5 minutes ranting about Eminem's weird shift in his style, both physically and musically, and for simply being old and angry. Surprisingly, this track was met with a lot of positive feedback, with many people commenting things like, "As an Eminem fan, I can say that this song is fire. He killed him in this verse. He's so right about M from 10 years ago as opposed to now. Can we just stop and recognize that this motherfucker pulled out so many receipts? I don't think people acknowledge how hard he dissed M." But as the world was on the edge of their seats,
Man,
thinking
listen,
they just saw the rap god get
I used to listen to Machine Gun Kelly when he first came out. When he first came out, he was nice, but I didn't know they was fucking beefing back then. So he was what the fuck is he doing now? Is he still dating that girl? What's her name? Megan Fox? He still dating her? Or Megan? Yeah, is he still dating her? Because last time I seen, they was doing like some crazy shit, like putting blood in each other and shit. That was years ago.
Body by the rap devil, Eminem would respond, first with an interview about how he dissed him on Not Alike.
The reason I dissed him is actually a lot more petty than that. The reason that I dissed him is because first when he said, I'm the greatest rapper alive since my favorite rapper banned me from Shade 45, like I'm trying to hinder his career, so I don't give a fuck about your career. You think I actually fucking think about you?
Right after that, the rap game witnessed what many considered the biggest diss track ever, Kill Shot by Eminem. The track didn't just throw shade, it broke records, becoming the song with the most YouTube views in 24 hours. Many even hail it as the greatest diss track ever. Seriously. In Killshot, Eminem goes all out, tearing apart MGK in ways that's hard to even put into words. But if you want a sense of the impact it had, just check out these reactions from some of the most famous music reviewers on YouTube.
Holy shit! What? Oh my god! I can't take this shit, bro.
That was Shaq. I used to watch Shaq like a motherfucker. No Life Shaq.
Machine Gun Kelly's response to this was literally just a tweet and sweeping the whole situation under the rug.
I'm an actor, homie. How disconnected are you? You called me a mumble rapper? Oh my. Yeah, that was like, stupid. Can we just pour some out for this old dumbass? Like, I can't even.
So what impact did this have on MGK's career and his reputation?
I'd be pissed if I gotta pick shit up nigga just waste because he mad.
He tried to capitalize on the publicity from the beef by releasing a hip-hop album and an EP right after. But since these projects followed the infamous beef with Eminem, they didn't really get much attention. Now, MGK has pivoted to punk rock and has tried to challenge Eminem again. It's a complete genre switch for him, and he's mostly known as the guy who's with Megan Fox.
Yeah, that's about all I know.
He gangster image to a more emo style, complete with painted nails and a more emotionally open persona. As one comment put it, he went from gangsta to emo in just 2 songs.
That's crazy. Motherfucker made you change the whole genre is insane. That shit's insane. No wonder I ain't heard from him in a long time. That shit's insane, make you change the whole genre. God damn. Well, hey, don't fuck with him. Leave that man alone.
But as notable as MGK's clash with Eminem was, the next person we're going to look at didn't quite manage to stand up to Eminem in the same way that Machine Gun Kelly did. Eminem versus Ja Rule is arguably one of the most famous beefs in hip-hop history, where 4 titans of the time would go head-to-head in an all-out war.
Ja Rule was beef. I thought on per Ja Rule beef with 50 Cent. He beef with Eminem beef with Ja Rule. I thought 50 Cent put Ja Rule out of misery. And Ja Rule was definitely he in the top goddamn of R&B. I'll put him in the top, top 10, 15, somewhere in there. He's definitely, I say top 10, top 15. Like in the 2000s, that's all you heard was fucking Ja Rule. In the 2000s, that's top 15, top 11, 12, somewhere in there. In the 2000s, all you heard was goddamn this man. So we not gonna discredit this man, but goddamn. Niggas be discrediting this man like he was just ass. You crazy. That man was on fire back then. Especially him and Ashanti now. But I didn't know he would beef with Eminem.
Or Benzino versus Eminem and 50 Cent versus Ja Rule. So
yeah, I remember that.
To those who tried to step to the newly signed 50 Cent and Slim Shady. Well, originally this beef started in 2002, where Benzino would make an appearance in the Hot 97 studio and discuss how Eminem was disrespectful to him in Puerto Rico, and then finish this interview with a freestyle firing disses at Eminem.
The only Eminem I know is made man. And by the way, he ain't never gone. I showed this cat what it really is to be shady. And I don't care how much records he sold. You can't walk through the hood without the men in black.
Then, a few weeks after this, Eminem and 50 Cent would both appear in the Hot 97 studio to attack Benzino, stating they might have to dig through the trash to find his record. And rather than refer to him as Benzino, they referred to him as Benzo. Then, while 50 Cent and Ja Rule are battling it out, Benzino decides to start a full-out war against Eminem, where he would release the track I Don't Wanna and attempt to go for Eminem's throat, saying, I don't care how much records you sold, you can't walk through the hood without the men in black. You disrespect.
So this is why Benzino fucking.
Then he would.
This is why I was gonna say what the. Oh, he still got braids. It's crazy. Is that why Benzino stopped rapping too? Because I know he was the hip hop source award owner or some shit. But I know the man was a rapper.
Also released Pull Your Skirt Up, where he would spit, the 2003 Vanilla Ice, how you playing it? If you ask me, you ain't really nice, you overrated. And this might have just been a huge mistake, as almost instantly, Eminem would drop back.
You better lose yourself if you know
it. Are insane. You sit behind a desk at the source, butt kissing, and begging motherfuckers for guest appearances. You can't even get clearances, because real lyricists don't even respect you or take you serious. It's not that we don't like you, we hate you, period. By the end of 2002, it seemed Benzino and Eminem's beef was over, with obviously Eminem taking the win, and now radio stations were starting to refuse playing any Benzino tracks.
Damn, you know, this
this
nigga
is where
rap.
we are introduced to Ja Rule in the Eminem story, as while Ja is beefing with 50, he would seemingly randomly fire shots at Eminem in defense of Benzino, saying, quote, Eminem, your mother's a crackhead, and Kim is a known slut, so what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? And
Oh,
this was
that is
obviously a huge
crazy.
mistake. If there's one thing rappers should know, it's definitely don't go for Eminem's daughter.
Yeah, I'm
in
telling
response
you.
to this, Shady Records would release multiple
What the fuck the kids gotta do with it? What the kids? Why do you niggas like bringing kids into it? What the hell going on
tracks,
right now?
like the Conspiracy Freestyle and Hail Mary featuring 50 Cent, where they let him have it. In September 2003, Benzino would rejoin this beef in an insane way, where he would pay $15,000 for racist tapes of Eminem and send them off to the press. This included the song
That's some
Foolish
hater shit
Pride,
right here.
where
What the
Eminem
hell?
is literally heard saying, never date a black girl because blacks only want your money. Because I don't like that N-word shit. I'm just here to make a bigger hit. And this was confirmed to be Eminem, meaning he was forced to respond to this leak. The tape they played today was something I made out of anger, stupidity, and frustration when I was a teenager. I'd just broken up with my girlfriend who was an African American, and I reacted like the angry, stupid kid I was. I hope people take it for the foolishness that it was, not for what somebody is trying to make it into today. Following this, Eminem would release
Niggas love going
a diss
back.
track aimed at Ja Rule with some harsh lyrics.
Niggas love going back 30 years and shit. Trying to, hey, I see niggas went back in solo goddamn Twitter. They went back in Twitter. He was talking about goddamn he hate math and he hate goddamn all this. He need people Netflix account and shit. That nigga deactivated his shit. Niggas is fucked up. Niggas is dirty. Niggas is
The
dirty.
leak of Eminem surprisingly didn't negatively affect them at all, and the common talk was that Eminem destroyed them both in this beef. And for Ja Rule, this was extremely evident, judging by the copies sold alone. Before
Damn, I didn't know Eminem beef with Ja Rule though. That's insane. I thought 50 Cent took him out his misery or whatever the fuck they want to call it. But anyway, yeah, all this stuff is new to me. Some of it happened between 2000 2007 and shit, so I wasn't even old enough to even know what the fuck was going on. Because at the time, like I said, I was fucking playing wrestling videos and playing Need for Speed and shit like that. So I wasn't studying no goddamn rap beef. But hey, it's interesting to know goddamn the history of what the fuck going on. So if you didn't know, I know. But if they leaving anything out, just let me know. That's all you gotta do. But if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, share. Peace.